How's it going, everyone? My name is Charlie, and in today's video, I'm going over 14 money rules that millionaires live by. These rules feel like they break the system, but they're straight from millionaires' playbooks. And to be frank, some of them won't want you to know this information, but I think everyone should have financial knowledge. And so in this video, I'm going to share with you the exact 14 rules that help me become a multi-millionaire and live my dream life. Number one is the art of money. And the fact is that it's a strategic game. It's a game that needs to be learned, not feared. So I like to view money like a game of chess. Every dollar starts as a pawn, but that pawn can become a knight, a bishop, a queen, whatever other piece, just by moving correctly. Now, all the rules in life and money are public knowledge. There's the tax code that you have full access to. There's the law of compounding growth. There's the art of leverage. And the thing is, the winners at this game of chess are just those that studied the rules harder and longer. And so first you need to think like, hey, I'm not scared of money. I'm not scared of building wealth. And you also need to shift your mindset from scarcity, which is basically, I can't afford this, I can't learn this, this is only for the rich, to an actual strategy. How can I buy assets that pay for these things? How can I make more money? How can I grow my wealth? All that stuff. The truth is that the most financially successful people in the world, they really view money as this whole chess game. They learn the rules, they actually take action and play, and they spend a significant amount of their time and energy on it, right? The more time you spend on something, the better you get at it. It's the same with money. And there really truly is an art to it. And the great thing is that that art can be learned by anyone. Don't be scared of it. Don't just sit there on the sidelines watching other people play the game. Get in there, play the game as well. And that's when you have a real shot at becoming wealthy. Number two is negotiate everything that's over $1,000. Actually, negotiate anything. Price tags are usually offers, not concrete things set in stone. Now, obviously, there are a lot of stores out there that have actual firm price tags, but this doesn't apply to a lot of things in life. For example, furniture, cars, medical bills, your salary, buying a service or a trade. Rich people know that everything is negotiable. And yes, I'm Chinese. I like to negotiate. And the way that people do it is they anchor low, they set a low price, and then they stay silent. They let the other person fill that space. This is a classic negotiation trick that actually works. You can also get creative, right? You don't need to just drop the price. You can ask for a discounted bundle. You can use other offers as leverage. And like I said, this doesn't apply just to buying things, although that's very important. This also applies to your job offer, to your salary, whatever it is. Data actually shows that 89% of professionals who negotiate a job offer actually get something extra, yet only 37% ask. So you need to be in the category that 100% asks for a lot of these things. There's also your internet, your insurance, your phone, all these things you can negotiate on. You can spend an afternoon calling them, asking them for a better price, and that should save you thousands of dollars per year. Remember, just because millionaires have a lot of money doesn't mean they don't care about getting the best deal. A lot of the times they save their way to that millionaire status, and that's why they love negotiating. Number three is you need to pay yourself first. So what you should do is set an automatic transfer, maybe 20 to 40%, that goes directly to your investments before it hits your checking account. This is what I call paying yourself first. You're paying yourself, your net worth, whatever you want to call it, before you're paying for random stuff you see at Target, stuff like that. If your cash never hits your checkings account, then a lot of people, they don't view it as spendable money, and that allows you to have the discipline of investing more of your money. Because you probably guessed it, millionaires, they love to invest their money. That's a big reason why they're able to grow their nest egg that big. Set these automated rules within your finances. Most platforms allow you to do this, and that really holds you accountable and makes sure that you don't stray away from it. I know I said 20 to 40%, that should be your goal at some point, but if that's not possible right now, definitely start smaller and gradually increase over time. Number four is to use smart debt. Buy with today's dollars and then repay with tomorrow's inflation. For example, if you buy a house with a mortgage at, let's say 6% and inflation is, let's say 5%, that's almost free money. And you should really understand that money loses a lot of value over time. That's called inflation. You get a fixed interest rate on a loan to buy something that can go up in the future in terms of price. You're actually doing yourself a huge favor because when you pay off that loan in the future, it's already worth less and less and less. A really simple way to look at it is, let's say you have a loan and every year you're paying, let's say $5,000. You need to do this for, let's say 10 years. In year one, you're paying $5,000. Okay, great. In year two, you're also paying $5,000. Now in year two, that $5,000 is worth a little bit less. In year three, that same $5,000 payment you're making is worth even less. And by year 10, right, you still have that $5,000 payment. Now the buying power of that $5,000 is significantly less, maybe half of what it was. So really understand this concept when it comes to borrowing money and getting a fixed 2.5% interest rate. And speaking of using credit cards a smart way, you guys should definitely know about the Gemini credit card, which lets you earn instant Bitcoin rewards on everyday purchases. So for me, I'm personally very bullish on Bitcoin. So getting more of it for my everyday spending, it just makes sense. I'm talking stuff that you're already spending on, like gas, groceries, or food delivery. You get up to 4% back and there's no annual fee. So if you use it every time to fill up your car, you can stack Bitcoin passively. And what's cool is if you actually hold on to your rewards, they can appreciate over time. In fact, Bitcoin rewards earned and held for over a year with this card appreciated over 170% on average. It's a super easy way to build your crypto portfolio on autopilot. Kind of kills two birds with one stone. Credit card rewards plus investing in crypto. So if you want to sign up for the card, go to gemini.com/Charlie and get $200 in Bitcoin when you spend $3,000 in your first 90 days. You can click the link down below to apply and see rates and fees in the description for more info. And now back to the video. Number 5 is business income is better than W-2 income. So essentially your W-2 income is capped by the number of hours you work for most people, whereas business income can scale with people, with systems and stuff like that. There's a reason why W-2 wage earners pay the highest percentage in taxes. It's because it's very hard to offset that income with deductions. That's why, yeah, like doctors, they pay some of the highest taxes in the US, mainly because they don't have access to a lot of write-offs. With a business, you can greatly reduce your net income on paper with write-offs, with depreciation, with payroll, all this stuff. And that's why if you ask any tax strategist what the best way to reduce your taxes is, they're gonna tell you start a business. That's why a majority of the world's wealthiest people are business owners. They take advantage of business income rather than W-2 income. If you ever thought about becoming an entrepreneur, running your own business, then let this be a sign that you should start. A lot easier said than done, of course, but for me, working for myself has been the best thing I've ever done. Number 6 is never use debit cards. Only use credit cards. With debit cards, there's a reason why rich people never use debit. It's because there is zero protection for your purchases, there's 0% cash back, and there's zero other rewards. When you use a credit card, this helps to build your credit score. You usually get some type of percent back in terms of rewards. You get purchase insurance basically, and there are so many other benefits. Now, the only thing here with credit cards is that you have to pay off in full. Otherwise, you are subject to some really big interest payments. Now, wealthier people, they're usually a bit more financially responsible. So that basically means they don't carry credit card debt or they know not to. And they're able to take advantage of all these perks with credit cards. While people that don't have that financial responsibility, they can't really use credit cards. Otherwise, they might carry a balance and they get zero rewards or anything for using a debit card. So please, if you're financially responsible, go open some credit cards. I'll have a link down below with some of my favorite and start earning rewards on the money you would have spent anyways. But only if you guys are financially responsible. 7 is you need to buy your time back. Millionaires know that their time is worth a good amount of money. And they also know that there are a lot of things in life that they need to do, which probably they don't want to do themselves. The good news is that there are lots of people out there that are definitely willing to do those services for you. All you gotta do is pay them, of course. And so for example, let's say you can make $100 per hour freelancing or something like that. Go freelance more and then pay someone to clean your home, to do your laundry, to cook for you, whatever. Because if you do the math, there's gonna be some delta, some spread. And so logically, it makes sense for you to pay for these services so that you can work more. I've automated and delegated many of these tasks that I used to do myself. It's freed up a lot of time for me to work more on my business, to help myself make more money. And yeah, most millionaires will do this. For example, Americans on average spend 5.7 hours per week on cleaning their home. If you outsource that at, let's say $30 per hour, that'll cost you about $9,000 over the course of a year. But at the same time, it opens up about 300 hours for you to actually go out there and make more money. Number 8 is invest in cash flowing assets and then buy your toys with that cash flow. For example, instead of going out there and buying a car, what you can actually do is buy an income generating asset like an investment property, put your money into that investment property and take the extra cash flow that it spits out and use that to finance a car or toy, whatever. Basically, this means you don't dump your money into toys and things, you dump your money into assets and then use those assets cash flow to pay for those dumb purchases. One great thing about this is that it keeps your lifestyle within this passive income ceiling, meaning you probably won't get too crazy with your lifestyle creep. It also encourages you to buy cash flowing assets more. And so a really quick example of this is, let's say you put $40,000 into a 12% cash on cash return investment property. With that $400 per month profit, you can go ahead and lease a car, let's say a Tesla for $350. And so essentially that asset is now paying for your car. A lot of millionaires absolutely love of this money rule. Number 9 is to actually utilize tax deductions and learn the tax code. I said earlier that this whole money thing is a game and the rules are all public, right? You just need to learn them. Well, millionaires understand that their biggest expense likely is their taxes, and so they actually spend their time learning the game of taxes. More specifically, what can they do to lower their effective tax bill? The great thing is that the government gives us so many different ways to invest our money that actually significantly can reduce our taxes, and it's all legal. For example, Section 179 or bonus depreciation. This allows you to write off heavy cars used for business, depreciate business assets, stuff like that. They'll maybe take advantage of things like home office deductions. The truth is that there are probably tons of deductions that you are not taking yourself, and that's costing you a lot of money. You're paying a lot in additional taxes that you don't need to pay. So yeah, just get smart with your taxes and actually learn the tax code. Rule number 10 is that making more money is way more important than saving more money. It's also a lot easier usually, so this is what I mean by this. Cutting a latte out of your daily schedule might save you like $6 per day, whereas learning some type of high value skill might increase your income by, let's say, $300 to $500 per day. And so what your big priority should be is not how can I skimp on this and save $3 here or 20 bucks there. It should be how can I possibly make more money. Usually the best way to do this is just by learning some type of high value skill, sales, marketing, closing, building websites, tutoring, anything. Learn a skill, turn it into a side hustle, start to freelance, turn it into a business, something that is actually scalable. And as you can see, the ceiling goes up really, really fast. Of course, saving is still incredibly important, but to make a big dent in your net worth or to get really wealthy, you're gonna need to probably increase your income. Number 11 is to invest in tax advantaged accounts. So this really goes down to like financial education, right? There are so many different tax advantage accounts that the government gives us to invest in, and it can save us a ton of money on taxes. So if you have an employer and they have a 401k, see if there's a 401k match and definitely hit that match because it's literally free money. Fund a Roth IRA if you're eligible for that. That gives you a ton of tax-free growth for your investments. Use an HSA, a health savings account, if you're eligible for that. If you're self-employed, have a solo 401k, something like that. Yeah, these are all things provided by the government that help us shelter our taxes. But if you don't know that they exist or you don't actually take action on these, then it's like they didn't exist, right? There's nothing that they're gonna do for you. Number 12 is track your net worth. Rich people love to track their net worth. You know the saying, what gets measured actually improves, and what does not get measured doesn't improve. And so yeah, essentially I think most people should have some type of monthly dashboard or some type of tracking system, something that allows them to frequently see and track their net worth number. You're gonna want to include all of your assets at market value minus your debts, and then you're gonna want to actually chart this out. There's some really great platforms out there. So like, for example, I use Monarch Money to track my net worth. You can also use a simple Google Sheet. And yeah, a really cool study that Fidelity did was they found that people who monitor their net worth at least quarterly, they had a 2 times higher median net worth. Obviously, there's both causation and correlation with this, but please, if you wanna grow something like your net worth, your muscles, your cardio endurance, you have to track it. And so yeah, if you wanna grow your net worth, please track it. Rule number 13, this is a bit controversial, is rent where you live and then own what you rent out. So personally for me, I like to rent where I live, and instead of parking my money in a primary home, I'd rather park that money in investment properties or other investments. I really value the flexibility of having a rental. I really enjoyed the ease of like not having to deal with maintenance and stuff like that. In some places, it actually doesn't make much sense to buy because, for example, here in Newport Beach, you can actually rent a $12 million home for about $20,000 to $25,000 per month. I'd rather rent and then take that huge amount of money I would have spent on my down payment for buying a house and put that into investment properties or other investments. This gets a lot of heat because it's a rule that everyone learns like from the day they're born. But the truth is you don't need to build your wealth in a primary home. You don't. And the fact is a lot of millionaires, they don't do that. Rule number 14 is you get what you pay for. So don't be a cheap ass. I'm very frugal myself and I used to really hunt deals, right? It would be very important for me to pay less than market for something or feel like I wasn't getting ripped off. And whenever something was expensive, I would go look for a cheaper alternative and go for the cheaper one. I've learned time and time again that often bites you in the butt. And don't get me wrong, there are some things that I've spent some time on finding a cheaper alternative and it's been great, but most of the time it's not. And so one way to look at it is you want to distinguish between the cost and the actual value. So for example, a really nice computer chair might cost, let's say, $500, but the value in that chair is a lot higher than that $500 you're spending, right? Because it could prevent a $10,000 back surgery. It's the same thing with services, right? I've gone with cheaper service providers. Usually their service is less good than the more expensive ones. For me, it's just a lot more risky to go for the cheaper stuff because although sometimes it's gonna work out well and you might, get a better deal and save a lot while getting a very, very similar product, a lot of the times it's not. And that's what really kills you. So please don't be a cheap ass. Don't spend all of your mental energy trying to find a better deal. Sometimes it's just not worth it. Sometimes the more expensive item is just well worth it. And you're hearing that from someone that used to be extremely, extremely frugal. So yeah, those are the 14 money rules that I wanted to cover in this video. I've met a lot of millionaires. I have a lot of millionaire friends. I've interviewed a ton of millionaires. And these are some of the most common money rules I see them following. I'm a big believer in if you see someone doing what you want to do or living your dream life, whatever it is, just try to emulate what they are doing. It's essentially a blueprint that is already made. They followed it themselves. But anyways, hopefully this video is helpful. Comment down below which was your favorite, or if you have your own money rule that you want to share, I'd love to hear it. Yeah, share with a friend, like the video, subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this. On this channel, I do a ton of videos that teach you guys how to live a financially successful life. Anyways, thank you so much for your time and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.